Today's top stories at NBR. Sift scopes a $350 million per year market opportunity. Restaurateur slams minister's response to open letter. New Auckland Airport chief executive sells her entire investment in former employer Air New Zealand. And there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, 100% subscriber funded and proudly brought to you by you, as is every story at nbr.co.nz. It's Thursday, April 7th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. Iwi Group Ngāti Toa has taken a cornerstone stake in Wellington-based investment firm Armillary Private Capital, which advised it on several large transactions over the past few years. Te Runanga o Toa Rangatira, the operating arm of Ngāti Toa Rangatira, and Iwi based in the Lower North Island and Upper South Island, has taken a 30% stake in Armillary. The price paid was undisclosed and directors said this would remain confidential. The two have developed a relationship over the past few years, which started when Armillary Joint Managing Director Leon Grandi was appointed Te Runanga's Paul Putia treasurer during the first COVID-19 lockdown in 2020. Armillary Joint Managing Director David Wallace told NBR the investment would strengthen Armillary's balance sheet and help it grow the number and size of transactions they're involved in. Immediately, he said, more employees can be hired to boost its 11 staff. Sift Technologies has already scoped a $350 million per year market opportunity for just one application of its technology in the life sciences space as it pushes to diversify its revenue stream beyond semiconductor manufacturers. Christchurch-based Sift, which makes mass spectrometer sensors that measure air contaminants, last week announced a 20% investment from Boston-based private equity investor Ampersand Capital Partners, valuing the company at about $116 million. The company's CEO, Alex Fowler, gave an online presentation Thursday morning, about the company's strategy, including further detail on its shift into the life sciences industry, where Ampersand has plenty of experience and expertise to help promote its growth, he said. Sift's stock is listed on the Unlisted Securities Exchange. Fowler said it would involve potential customers in the big pharma, contract lab/manufacturers and related industries, chemicals, for example. Navigating a New Zealand-headquartered global robotics and automation company through the vicissitudes of COVID and massive supply chain disruption has made for a challenging first 2 years in the top job at Scott Technology for John Kippenberger, who now has the invasion of Ukraine by Russia to factor into his business operations. He joined the NBR's Dita Deboni.
Because of the rebalancing or the disruption to supply chains, particularly out of Russia on things like steel and plastics and other commodity items, but also products. So that is having a flow-on effect into businesses, both customers, but also companies like Scott Technology, where we've got factories in Belgium and the Czech Republic.
Scott Technology CEO John Kippenberger with Dita Deboni there. Suncorp New Zealand's listed Aussie parent is reportedly mulling a sale of its local life insurance business. The Australian reported Thursday, that ASX-listed insurance business Suncorp is weighing up the sale of its New Zealand life insurance arm, which operates under the Asteron Life brand. The unit was reportedly thought to be worth about 300 million Australian, with UBS said to be assessing the situation. Suncorp New Zealand has been approached for comment. The founder of a 3,700-plus member Facebook support group for hospitality operators has slammed the ministerial responses he received to an open letter he wrote last month seeking targeted financial support for the beleaguered sector. The 3-page open letter by the owner of Auckland restaurant The Grange Bistro and Bar, Mark Wilson, was signed by more than 400 venue owners and managers from around the country, representing over 450 venues and about 10,000 employees. Wilson has now received letters in response from both Grant Robertson and Stuart Nash, dated March 21st and April 5th, respectively. He joined the NBR's Nicholas Shepherd.
To get a cut and paste letter sent to us just shows no respect at all. And what rubbed salt into the wound was that the letter that came from Stuart Nash, he added a singular sheet that listed several mental health support services and their phone numbers. And to us, that's, we're not going to help you, but if you are losing the plot, maybe you want to call these guys. And as far as we're concerned, I mean, we're grown adults. You know, there is some serious mental health issues going on in the sector at the moment, but we don't need to be told, you know, here you go, this is what you should do. We were reaching out for support for our businesses.
The Grange bistro and bar owner Mark Wilson with Nicola Shepherd there. New Auckland Airport Chief Executive Carrie Hurihanganui sold her entire investment in her former employer Air New Zealand on April 1st, just a day after the airline announced its recapitalisation and rights offer. Hurihanganui was announced as the airport's new CEO last October, having worked her way up from Air New Zealand flight attendant to Chief Operating Officer over a 22-year career. A disclosure filed on the NZX this afternoon, Thursday afternoon, shows Hurihanganui disposed of 88,636 shares in an on-market sale for a consideration of $112,027, equating to an average price per share of approximately $1.26. The sale leaves her with no shareholding in Air New Zealand, which is Auckland Airport's largest and most important customer. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Friday at NBR, in her weekly column, Rachel Smalley says the government's planned health reforms are starting to look like the failed Kiwi Build project. I'm Paul Brennan. Join me again from around lunchtime tomorrow for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time right here from 5:30 for another NBR Today.